The big talk of the week, obviously.
Listen, obviously you two have not been able to get in on it. It's the first time you've been here since the Deshaun Watson situation.
Oh, you know I wanted in.
You was jumping at the bit, right? So, you take a look at this, and obviously Deshaun Watson comes out yesterday, and when he did speak, he didn't give people much. We thought about what he was going to actually say. Was he going to come out and talk about his treatment? Was he going to come out and talk about some of the different things that he had been going through while he was on suspension? And the first thing he mentioned was, hey, I'm not going to mention any of that. I'm going to stick to strictly football conversations. As we kind of fold that into this week, do you believe that this could serve as a possible distraction? I think there was a lot of people on Twitter that kind of went off a little bit because they thought he should have came out and spoke about the stuff, got it over with, or they wanted to get more information. Do you think the longer this lasts where he doesn't say anything, do you think this could kind of roll into a running distraction where people continue to ask him questions during the week of not only this game, but potentially next game?
What do you think, Ms. Mayor?
Well, first of all, I don't think that, you're not going to be able to please everybody here, right? And so I think the methodology that he approached this with probably was the best that he was going to get out of it, because you're not going to change anybody's mind here. It's not. I mean, I watched the stuff online and what people were saying, and, he said, I'm going to just stay with football here. Because, in the past when he's got out here on his own, he'd been sailing on a boat by himself, right? And it hadn't ended up getting anywhere near shore. So the methodology, because he said, I've been advised to do this, right? And probably, for what people feel, we may not feel, it probably was the best course of action, because you wasn't going to satisfy anybody. Because I can just tell you from the people that are here, no matter what he said, some people weren't going to be satisfied with it at all, right? And so you find yourself on a slippery slope. Now you're just trying to always climb up the wall. And at the point here, when he gets to the final point here of playing in the game, and he says the same thing over and over again, I'm going to just stay with the game, right? People are going to just learn that he's only going to talk about the game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And people are obviously just dying to hear from him about this situation because they want the clicks, they want the heat, they want something to write about. And he's not giving it to them. And there's this feeling as if in some of the media where they feel as though they're owed this. I don't know if I don't totally agree with that. I feel like they've said their piece. I agree with the mayor. What's done is done. Nobody's going to all of a sudden. He's not going to come out to that podium and just say like, I've been thinking about it and I was kind of a jerk, and everybody's going to be like, all right, you know what, we're cool with you now. Like, nobody's going to do that.
Right.
That's not happening.
You know what? Good for you.
Yeah, and then at the same time, he's not going to go out there and just say. He's not going to say, I don't think I did anything wrong or anything like that. And then all the people who've been backing him the whole time are going to be like, we told you. Yeah, that's what I want. Like, what I'm saying is you're going to have these two distinct sides. You're going to have all these people in the middle who are just waiting to see what happens. And so it's people in the middle that he's got to try and win over right now. And he's got to do that through play, not through anything else that he's saying. And that's his best opportunity to make people turn the tide on him who are not, is to go out there, competently play, and not say anything stupid for the rest of this season.
How do you feel about? Because I know before you had said it.
Yeah.
When he spoke the last time, it was almost like it was rushed. He was kind of unprepared. They kind of threw him out there, and I noticed in the press conference what they had was two guys. I don't know who they were. There was three. It was two guys and a woman.
I heard them.
And they jumped in and they made sure that they weren't going to have no talking out of turn. Hey, we're going to get to you.
Yep.
And I thought, how did you guys feel about the way it looks like he had a little more support?
Yes.
A little more support.
So I would say this. So the two guys are with the Browns organization. They're protecting the organization from the standpoint the Browns have a chance to, if they run the table, potentially make a playoff run. So they're protecting that, right? The side of it is this. He, if you think about it, he's still got some legal cases going on here. He shouldn't be saying a word.
Yeah.
Stay quiet.
Yep.
Let them play out the way you let them play it out over the last few months, right? That's where this is. So he can't say a word. And here, and the thing about it, anybody in this business, the reporters, they know it. that he can't. He shouldn't say a word,
Yes,
right?
of course.
But they keep egging him on.
Yeah.
We want you to say a word.
Right.
Right? They're like, no. And he just stays with the script because that's the only script he has to play right now.
Right.
This thing is about being ready to go in here on Sunday. Because the Sunday atmosphere, Mike, is going to be one like no other.
Yes.
Is he going to be mentally strong enough to walk into that venue again and perform at a high level?
Right. We've been waiting for this game for a very long time, and believe me, no more than him or the Browns, because when they made this deal, however long ago at this point, they were like, all right, everybody, buckle up. We're going to take some hits until this guy gets on the field and starts playing. So just get ready to take those hits. Deservedly so for the choice they made, the controversial choice that they made on behalf of the whole fan base and to represent the. But at the same time, this is the exact. I remember when they signed Kareem Hunt and everybody being furious, and a lot of people on did not agree with that. And they went into that press conference and just said, yeah, he's got his problems.
Yeah.
But we believe that we can turn him around on the field. But we had to get him on the field. And where are we now with Kareem Hunt? I mean, I'm not saying he's universally loved, but that is not the first thing that comes up all the time about Kareem Hunt. It's about what a player he is.
Right.
And even I watch here's where Deshaun Watson has to get to with the fan base. I watched this game with my girlfriend and my sister last week, and when Kareem Hunt has a good play, they're like, oh, and then they see it's him, like, okay, well, whatever. That's the best he's going to do with my sister and my girlfriend. And Deshaun Watson's dream is to get to the point where they're just like, okay, well, I'm glad, at least we scored. They're never going to be like, we love you, Deshaun. But we just got to get to the point where the first time Kareem Hunt touched the ball and they saw that, they're like, screw you, we should not have him on that team, we hate him. We just got to get to the point where, like, all right, well, he hasn't done anything.
So we're just trying to get to the level of a golf clap?
Pretty much. Get my girlfriend to golf clap you, and then you're good.
Brad, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I want to tap into your playing days here. Sunday in Houston's going to be a raucous atmosphere. There's going to be a lot of outside distractions, noise. Texans fans don't care a ton because they suck, and there's going to be a lot of Browns fans there, but it's just going to be an interesting atmosphere with distractions galore. Brad, I know you've played with guys who you can look at immediately and say he's not built for those situations, and you've seen guys who are able to completely block out any outside noise. From your opinion and what you've seen of Watson so far, how do you think he'll handle, and what will his performance be like considering everything else surrounding him? Like, is he built on which side of the fence there?
So what I see from the outside, Mike, is a guy that potentially is able to play in an adverse atmosphere. I will only be able to tell when the bell sounds on Sunday. But it's not so much about him. It's about the support the others surround him with to give him the, not cover, but comfort to allow him to do what he needs to do to help the football team, right? And if he were on a basketball team, be on a basketball team. So we will find out because here, there are many people in this world that talk a good game, right? I'm tougher than tough. And then when the heat come, you melt down. So we won't know. Because I'm going to just tell you, Mike, this is going to be at a high level of intensity in there, right? If you don't think that place is going to be amped up on Sunday, then somebody's mistaken, G. You're mistaken.
Who is going to be there, really, on Sunday? I want to know the type of person, the Houston fan. Is it going to be 75% media in the stands just hoping he...
No, there's the people that want to see a train wreck come down the track.
Is it worth paying that much money in parking to go see a train wreck?
In this country, they do it all the time. They do it all the time.
This is a paid train wreck. And actually, to be truthful, that's why I feel bad at myself for being that excited. I shouldn't be one of these people that be like, you know what, this is going to be great. I thought it was interesting that he said during the press conference he said, I want to shout out to people in Houston. I got a lot of people in Houston I still talk to. I got a house down there. I got love for H-Town. I want to see, you being in politics, it's not a political question, but when you do polling, right?
Yeah.
Polling's all over the place.
It's
You might tell somebody, hey, what do you think about certain candidates?
You can't believe everything you get out of the poll.
And they're horrible. And then then the election happened. You're like, well, what happened?
You just saw that a couple weeks ago.
Everyone we talked to on a landline said they were going to vote that way. Well, wait a second. I don't know anybody with a landline anymore.
Get in the weeds here. I know people in Houston.
Yeah.
They like him in Houston.
Yeah.
People like him.
I was in Atlanta.
People like him in Houston.
In the South, I was down there this summer, and they had my Browns gear on. They said, hey, I didn't even have to solicit. Hey, Deshaun Watson is a good guy.
Unsolicited.
I said, okay, like I'm just I just got them just visiting. They see my gear and was like, y'all gonna be good, man. Listen, you gonna get a good quarterback. He a good kid too.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, I'm conflicted because I don't know him. I just got what we got here. We known him all of 5 weeks in the media, but the thing is, wouldn't it be ironic if he goes down there and it's not as bad as we think? What if it's like, hey, it's some smatterings of boos here, but it's more like when LeBron comes back. Right. You know, when we look at as far as the visceral action, I've never seen nothing like that when LeBron came back that first time.
Oh, yeah.
That meant we was hot, and it was the whole entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be like that.
Right.
I don't foresee it. I don't see it that way.
I'm just curious, more than anything, regardless of their passions right now, I'm just wondering who is going down to watch this one-win team, like who is actually going out.
I have some answers for
Go
you.
ahead, please, Mike.
So I spoke to some of my people in Houston. I used to live just outside that area.
Okay.
Outside of this game, the 2 games prior and the 2 games after, you could get tickets for like $6.
Right.
Like literally dirt cheap. They're terrible. No one cares. There's so many other things in Texas to draw their attention away from the Texans that when they're irrelevant,
Like drilling for oil.
Cleaning their guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Or
People are
accumulating
going
them.
to this game though, and a lot of Texans fans, at least the ones that I know, have nothing against Watson. Like they're actually excited to see Deshaun play again.
So what are tickets running now? Did you look?
I'll tell you. I'll look right now.
Because
I
it'd
don't
be
know
curious
exactly,
to see if it's $6 before and $6 after. By the way, that's like a typical January 2nd Browns regular season game when I had my season tickets back in the day. And then that's when we were like at that point 2-13 or something like that. You're going to play Baltimore and get mowed down in a meaningless game. And then I'm calling. It's like no degrees out. It's January 1st probably. So everyone's hungover from New Year's. I'm like, does anyone want to go to the Browns game with me in 2-degree weather? And it's funny how nobody got back to me.
Let's play guess that price. What do you think a ticket cheapest ticket you get?
It was 6 on either end on the game before and the game after.
Give or take. Yeah,
Ish.
like
Okay,
$12.
I'll go $14.
I'll say 27.
35.
I was gonna say. I was just about to say 40.
All right, see, this is important. This is important. If that first stat that your mythical friends from Houston gave you is accurate, and it was $6 before, or for the previous game, $6 after, now we have the answer to how much, at least, excitement and investment there is in this game.
That tells you.
Here's your Brad, real quick. Here's your comparison.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks after Houston hosts Jacksonville, there's a ticket right now for $9.
Yeah.
That's Jacksonville, though, too.
Yeah.
Can
I'm
you
just
imagine
saying.
going to that game?
That's
I would be.
I'm just saying.
I know you're right.
I would be surprised if this thing is not near capacity, right?
Yeah.
Because most people, again, I tell you, enamored with the train wreck, right?
Sure.
Right. That's
Everybody
what
loves to watch that.
They want to see it, right?
Soap operas have been on for. Soap operas have now been on for 100 years.
Who's been on TV the last 48 hours and getting the most clicks out here? Your boy Ye.
Oh yeah. I feel like he's going through some
No,
stuff.
hey, we are
We
not
can't
getting
even.
into Ye. Not getting into Ye. No,
We're not getting into the subject matter.
So
We're
bad.
talking about people are
Right.
tuning
People love train
into
wrecks.
it.
That's
Right.
Larger point is train
Because
wrecks.
it's foolishness,
Yes.
right? And people are watching it, right? This is what happens out here.
Now, the
so
next-
if you tell me that you think you are walking to Houston and nobody gonna come see Deshaun Watson after all this,
But
stop playing with
you're
me.
right, and I'm not. I could totally see that. My question is, you guys are talking about how he's still very popular there too, though. I mean, I would like to know how many of those people are coming to root for him, and how many people are coming to actively boo him. I wonder what that percentage is.
I will say this. This is the most important game of his career, right? And you say, why would you say this? Because first impressions are dominant in our lives, right? The first time you see Deshaun Watson, if he comes out here, and I don't care if it's against a bad team, if he comes out here and he looks like the dude we've been waiting for forever, he will convert half of that middle ground onto his side just by the first impression alone. Some of them he may not get.
You think we're that morally fungible that we can just move in one direction or the other like that?
Yeah, because I've seen how polarized Baker Mayfield is, and how people, when they rocked with Baker,
they would.
they was there, and still some of them are still there.
Yeah, but there wasn't an ethical component to that. This one's more ethical than Baker. With Baker, it was like he stinks. Oh, he's good. Maybe I like him now. This one, it's like I don't agree with him morally, and it's like he has a good game. Nobody's like, okay, well, morally he's fine.
I'll put it to you like this. This is how ethically off people are. If Kanye West has another good album, people will go buy it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes.
You know what else people are buying right now, G?
What is that?
They're getting the pre-sale tickets at BetJack, putting in the Super Bowl futures on the Cleveland Browns. The ultimate Cleveland sportsbook is BetJack. Sports betting goes live on January 1st. Download the BetJack app today so you can have skin in every game, anywhere, anytime. BetJack, Ohio's sportsbook. We're going to do a good bet, bad bet next, and we're going to go out to Adam the Bull in the Clevelander and start with his picks. What's up, Bull?
I'm getting hammered. Here we go. Look, getting hammered.
You sound like you hammered.
I'm drinking the hot stuff, some water.
Straight gin.
That's disgusting.
Bull's not a drinker.
Straight gin is like
By the way,
liquid pine needles.
Awful.
By the way, I just had a fan. Remember, you guys, I don't think Mike Polk was there, but you guys remember meeting Jay and John? He works for the Guardians.
Yeah.
He's a fan ambassador.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I met him. Shout out to him.
That's right. You guys took a picture together. He said Brad looks much younger on TV than he looks in person. That was the word I got.
Hey, Bull, why is Earl sitting behind you like your bodyguard?
Yeah.
It's like
Have you got some trouble there?
I don't know. Yeah, we got a rowdy crowd here. Eddie's out of control already, man. He's throwing people through windows. He's just causing all kinds of havoc right now.
Y'all going over?
And we got the show on one of the TVs here at the Clevelander.
Oh, awesome.
Which is pretty cool.
It's amazing what they can do
that's
nowadays.
Nice.
You ready to do good bet, bad bet, Bull?
Technology. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's do
pull
it.
up your card here, Bull. These are all Deshaun Watson props for Sunday's game against Houston.
Okay, I got to move something here so I can read this.
First of all, did I even do this?
Yeah, we did this on Tuesday. We haven't got to this since Tuesday.
I said the same thing.
I was like,
yeah.
When you
Time's a
see your
flat
card,
circle.
you'll remember. Everyone did submit their answers.
So I got let's start with Deshaun Watson. I think I've been saying all week. I actually on my podcast this morning made the pick. I think the Browns are going to win 35-13. I think it's going to be 38-13. I think it's going to be a bludgeoning of the Texans this weekend. But I actually think leading the way is going to be Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is going to run for 179 yards and have 3 touchdowns.
I love his
I think everybody's expecting Watson to just go bananas in this game. And I think Deshaun Watson will have a good, solid game. But I think by the second half, they'll be running all the time. And I think Nick Chubb will have over 100 by halftime and 179, and then he'll take a seat in the fourth quarter because they won't need him because they'll be up so big. So I have him having a big game. I have Watson over 230, whatever it is, but not completing over 25.5 passes because I don't think they're going to throw that much. I think he's going to be efficient and accurate. There will be some rust, but the Texans are so bad that I think the Browns will have their way with them this week.
All right.
Awesome,
Let me ask you this question, Bull. Is there in any world, because we haven't had this happen forever, is there in any world where they're beating, because I'd be mad as hell if this happens, if they beaten the Texans bad, do you think they would take Deshaun Watson out and put Jacoby Brissett in? Like, let's wave the flag a little bit.
No.
Oh,
I can't. The only way I think they would do that is if, God forbid, he got some sort of minor injury in the game and he was, playing through it because they want, in that situation. But I don't think they're going to bench him because of a blowout because if he'd been the starting quarterback all year, sure, then you bench him with a blowout. But no, I think, in fact, if they're blowing him out, I think that's a good way for him to get the extra reps with really no pressure. I mean, if they're winning by 3 touchdowns.
Under different circumstances, I think they would, but you're right. All right, let's take a look at my bets and see what I decided a couple days ago. And see if I've changed my mind since. There's Riverboat Mike making his bets. I also went with I went with the under on Watson. You're right. I think it's going to be a run game, and I think this is be him getting his feet wet. I don't think we're going to need him to be throwing in the second half. And I do think he could accidentally go over that just because I think that, I think Houston's that bad. But it wouldn't surprise me if they really focused on the run and just almost to make a point. Same with, so I just think that in general he won't be as much of a factor, but I think that the running game is going to be really dominant, and that's why I went with that. All right, how about you, Mayor?
Brad, you're up.
Let's go with it. Let's make it happen. I'm all over.
What?
Yeah.
Look how proud.
The 6-0 Kool-Aid is alive and well.
Let me tell you why I'm going in.
Yes, to all defense questions yesterday. It was the easiest fill-in I've ever had.
That's great.
Listen, let me tell you why. He's been sitting down for a long time. He should have a lot of pent up inside of him.
Yep.
And no better choice and chance to do it against your old crew.
First game, man.
This dude, they're so bad in Houston, right?
Yeah.
If he gets rolling early,
Right.
you know how sometimes you play out your mind, right?
Oh,
and then next
visualize.
week you're on a 0.
Yeah.
This is gonna be one to play out his mind.
Yeah.
You think he might be on a 0 the week after?
And then the next week he come down to earth.
They come down to earth.
Now, are you concerned? You said he's been sitting there a long time.
Yeah, sitting out a long time.
You've seen The Wizard of Oz. The Tin Man had been sitting there a long time, too, until they stumbled across him. And then they had to make some adjustments because he was a little rusty, if you recall.
Tin Man didn't have no heart. We're going to find out who got some heart on Sunday.
Okay, we'll see if Deshaun's got that heart. That's true.
Are we doing headlines a little bit? Shout out to you, man.
That's the deal.
Man, I don't even know what I put, but I think my scorecard look a lot like Brad's. Oh, look at this.
You're a little couple. Close.
Yeah,
Close, right?
You have no faith in his 2.5 passing touchdowns.
That's a lot. That's 3 touchdown passes.
I got him going 3.
I got him 2 in the air, 1 on the ground.
Yeah.
Though. See how we splitting this thing
The
up?
whole second half, he's just going to be handing it to Jerome Ford. That's the whole second half of the game.
238 is easy money. I actually think he's gonna get a deep ball off. We might even see a deep ball in the air.
That sounds
like
pretty.
in the end zone caught. Right? 25 completions.
Not get too crazy, G.
Yeah, hey, 25 completions to me was the hardest one I had to go on. Like 25, that means you if you got 25, you had to throw it 35 plus, right? Like you creep it up there
Against
to 40
Houston.
Early. Touchdown passes, I think he'll get 2 touchdown passes, 1 on the ground. The rushing attempts, I thought that was the easiest one. 27.
Yeah,
he'll get that on a scramble.
Like
that's just
2 carries.
Yeah, a few carries, and then he'll get a touchdown on the ground because they want to put it in the heads of everybody else moving forward. We still have read option available on the goal line. We're gonna run that.
So as we get to Quell ready here, I want to pose this question to you guys, and then we'll bring the Quell in on it as well. Is there a better chance the Browns run the table and go 6-0 to finish the season, or a better chance they lose to the Texans on Sunday?
I'll
Which
start
one
with
of those
that.
2 scenarios is higher? Polk, you're
I'll
first.
just take math on that and just say there's a better chance they lose to Houston. Anything can happen in one game. What's difficult is to have something happen in 6 games in a row with a quarterback who hasn't played in a couple of years. And that's not, I'm not impugning his talent, obviously, or anything like that. But I just think mathematically, if I was taking the smart money, you would have to say there's a better chance that they would lose this game than go 6-0.
Brad?
That's mine.
Well, the odds would favor losing to Houston, but I'm going the other way because I just feel like I just read and try to read in between the lines. You know, when you got a guy like Nick Chubb who never talks, talking during the week about how good Watson has been in the time he's been back, right?
Yeah.
That's
encouraging. Tells you something.
So so Nick's like everybody's here energized. So okay, I'm gonna go with it.
You're going 6-0 rather than a better chance
Because
of that.
I looked at the schedule, right? You have a chance here,
Sure.
but it depends on how he come out on the table on Sunday.
If he come out, you already know where I'm going. If he come out and they put up 35, like Adam 38, like Adam the Bull is saying, everybody in that locker room gonna feel they Superman. There's
Yep.
a certain thing.
Yep.
If you in a club, if you with the Chicago Bulls and you come in the 90s and you come in the VIP after Michael Jordan, you still you might as well be Michael Jordan because I'm with the homie. I'm with the big dog. Listen, if you go to the casino, we got the biggest bank. When you go out to the car, we got the nicest cars in VIP, and we doing it up big. I got the long meat. We all tall. It's a wrap. It's done. I'm with Mike. It's over. I feel like I'm Mike. So look, if he come out with these,
We all tall.
we all tall. Like y'all want somebody over 6
Steve
foot?
Kerr's like, me too.
Me, I'm up in here. Hey, easy money on this one, McNuggets. You'll trust me. 6-0 Kool-Aid. Make sure you go to Circle K. Tell them G. Bush sent you. Get that 6-0 Kool-Aid shirt. It's out there. Just let them know I sent
Got
you.
a stack for you, right?